What would you do if you were asked to give up your dreams for freedom?
Hello.
Yeah, he did it again.
What would you do if asked to make the ultimate sacrifice? Would you think about all them people who gave up everything they had?
Oh, yeah.
Would you think about all them war vets? And
This is
would
Dave
you
and I's
start
song,
to
by the way.
feel bad? Freedom isn't free. It costs folks like you and me.
Welcome to Casturbation. This is
And if we
Michael.
don't all
Fight.
Yeah, riot, protest, January 6th. Let's do it.
No, there's a
I mean, come on.
hefty fucking fee.
There's a hefty fucking
And if you
fee.
don't throw in your $1.05, who will?
I mean, who will?
Who will?
We will, here at Casturbation. David and Michael will lead the charge.
Oh, my God.
I mean, come on,
What?
someone has to.
A weekend it has been, folks.
Yeah, we're topical
the
right
number
now.
one news podcast in the world. Casturbation.
There's CNN and there's Casturbation.
Yeah.
So if you look up C, like, we show up, like, second, typically.
We show up, typically, is what Michael thinks. But
Yeah, well, if you guys listen more, then it's first. It's probably like 500th, but in case you guys have not heard, nothing has happened this week. Everything went fine.
Yeah, it's been boring as shit.
Oh, yeah. There's just like the weather was nice and nothing happened.
They tried to take out my man.
Oh, no. That's like, no.
Tried to take out my boy Trump. No. Just kidding. See, folks,
Look at,
what happens in this world.
is that David forgets to turn off things and turn on things.
No, you don't have to acknowledge it.
I will acknowledge it because you just walked away.
Yeah, well, the presidential candidate, former president,
The ex-president,
Donald Trump,
yeah, I was like, he's something.
is,
What do you call that? So I think they still always go by president, though,
There's
right?
been an assassination attempt.
Oh, was there?
He is-
Wait, what?
He is alive.
I've never heard.
Now,
what?
that was crazy, though, because I saw that shit immediately as it happened.
What you're telling me? I don't. No. Wait, what? I haven't heard about this.
Well, Michael, it happened in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Butler. You know, that's what all the ladies in my life ask
The Butlerian Jihad is what this day shall be called. Well, so it was July 13th. It's pretty wild. I mean, shit, man. Like, I didn't really. I saw it on TikTok, and it was like,
Where everything is true.
well, see, that's the thing. I was just like, well, this is clearly just some bait, some weird thing somebody's spreading around. But then I saw it was posted like 1 second ago, and then I flipped over to Twitter, and then there was immediately a post about, news post about it, and I was like, oh, fuck. So there's really some shit going down.
TikTok and Twitter, like I said, like that's like the most.
Who knows what we'll know by the time this episode comes out. But at this point, we just know the person's name, apparently. We know they were a 20-year-old.
I think his name was like Alexander.
No, it wasn't at all.
Okay.
But I don't...
I'm just giving.
Yeah.
I just heard about this right now.
I don't
guys.
have any info in front of me, but because, I don't really necessarily want to give that fucker any attention, right?
You know what? That's true. So his name was Darth Vader.
Anyway,
He was a sniper. Oh, he was the American sniper, directed by Clint Eastwood.
immediately after it happened, the conspiracy theories started.
There were more memes than news within 5 seconds.
I saw immediately people speculating that this was a false flag operation. This was set
God.
up.
I've heard
this
false
was-
flag so many times in the last day.
And it's like, I mean,
Maybe.
Trump's a little bit too chaotic, I think, for something like that. You know what I mean? I can't see him being a part of something like that. Now, it being like the idea that it's like a supporter of his that's trying to like
He was a registered Republican.
get
according
him sympathy. I mean, I don't even know what's true at this point because there's so many things, people have the same names. People pull all sorts of things, start spreading it around, and then we don't know until like...
Well, he donated to both parties, apparently.
That's what I've heard.
$15.
That's what I've heard.
$15 because that'll help you win.
That's what I've heard, but I don't know. I'm not. I'm gonna wait.
Does anybody know anything?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna wait for what the official word comes out, and then see what that is.
Here's the thing, David.
See what they're gonna say. I'm not saying I'm gonna just take it hook, line, and sinker, but I just want to see what the official investigation concludes.
The official word will be a bunch of innocuous shit. It's like,
I'm sure it won't be
was this
illuminating
random
at all.
guy.
Yeah, it won't be illuminating at all. Of course not. No.
Of course. Yeah, we're not gonna know anything. So, by the way, we're all fucked. It's because nobody knows anything except for the people that sent that sniper.
Well, I don't think it's as bad as it could have been. Certainly.
Well, see, here's the two. Well, actually, there's 20 things that could have happened. So you could either have made him a martyr. I don't know if that's better for their side, if you take a side, or him.
Which side are you referring to?
It was who's leaving? Well, of course, the Republicans, because he's Donald Trump. It's or he lives, and now he has literally all of his troops, quote unquote, behind him.
Yeah, no, I don't think Trump's like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think he thinks about much.
I don't think he's
except for cocaine and porn stars.
And
to get himself almost assassinated. Yeah,
I don't think he's like that because you know what I mean. Right now, there's a palpable panic, clearly on one side.
Is that the episode name?
Maybe.
Palpable panic.
But clearly, on one side, there is a palpable panic about Biden and his suitability and his ability. And so there's been a lot for the past since the fucking debate. There's been just a ton of panic. Let's just put a word on it from pundits and figures from that side of the aisle. Do
we even have an aisle anymore?
Yeah, the aisle's been destroyed.
It was shot to death.
So that being said, it's not that the race was in the bag for Trump by any means, but
it was looking that way. Right?
I mean, he doesn't need to orchestrate anything at this point. He just needs to let Biden basically just keep opening his fucking mouth and just keep confirming everyone's worst fears that he's unable to do the job.
And then it's he's probably and then Trump gets sniped at.
Yeah, and then, so it's just
it's the most storyline. Who is writing this?
He doesn't need to do that. That's what my argument is. Just that's why I don't believe it's a false flag or whatever. Is because why would he need to orchestrate this? He's already kind of starting to gain momentum. It's you don't need a fucking assassination attempt to boost your poll numbers. Now, if he was fading in the polls, he was down 5 points to Biden, and Biden's running away with it.
Say it's in a month. It's in a month or two.
I will consider that possibility because that makes a little bit more sense in that context. But where it is right now, that just doesn't. No, I don't think. And Trump himself is too chaotic for that. It's he would just be making, you know what I mean? To do something like that, you need a really tight plan. You need to be really tight, and Trump needs to do the right exact things.
He was the president, though, but think about this. He was the president, so maybe he knows a few people. It's
but
I'm going to put my point special service.
If you see Trump, however he always operates, is he's always chaotic. He's never going to stick to any fucking plan. He
did look scared.
So I don't think it was a setup. And two, it's pretty crazy that we see something like this happen. I just never thought we'd see that kind of level of political violence in American politics.
Lifetimes?
Yeah, because
the last time that happened was Ronald Reagan.
Ronnie,
when he was he was also influenced. Remember, by books and stuff. Because remember, don't read books, guys.
He was influenced by books.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Catcher
talking about.
in the Rye.
You're talking about.
Ronald Reagan.
That's Mark David Chapman, and that's the guy who shot fucking John Lennon. You're thinking of Catcher in the Rye.
Okay, so people get shot all the time. So we've had so many people get shot. I get it confused.
Catcher in the Rye.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was Catcher in the Rye. That he goes into the book, right?
Yeah, he was Holden Caulfield. Yeah.
Yeah, he thought that was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Mark David Chapman, and that's the guy who shot John Lennon. Pretty sure John Hinckley is the guy who shot Ronald Reagan, and he did that because
there's a lot of Johns.
he wanted to impress Jodie Foster.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, guys. So I think the episode name, if we could put it online, which we will not, is "We're Fucked," because people love Jodie
I don't really
Foster.
think so. I don't really think we're that fucked. I think this obviously, if Trump would have been,
That's what I'm saying. Is it?
God forbid, killed, then I think
That's the Dune.
things would have been really bad.
That's the martyr situation.
I think
That's Paul.
I think that turns the heat up well beyond where it is right now. But because that didn't happen, I do think Trump knowing, although he doesn't really have too much of a control over that base, if we saw, because January 6th,
and all those people
Yeah.
are going to show up soon. And like I said, it's like the Paul Maudweeb Atreides situation.
we'll see.
So is it a martyr or your Messiah?
I mean,
Because now he's survived. So which one is worse?
well, what does he do? You know what I mean? Because he can play it a few different ways. Does he use this as an opportunity to be a great uniter and be like, hey, Biden, I'll be like maybe my rhetoric has been too aggressive. You know what I mean? And give an olive branch to let them also extend the same, because obviously think about them calling him fucking Hitler or the next
But
dictator.
Joe Biden even actually sent a nice
saying
message
there's
like,
a
shit.
real threat to democracy. All of these things, don't get me wrong, like whether or not those things are true, which I don't think. I think a lot of that is hyperbole. I don't think Donald Trump himself was, he's just a guy. And the first time around, he really was, hampered in a lot of controversy. Didn't really do a lot. But my point is, when you kind of talk about somebody that way, in such an extreme way, you might influence somebody into
exactly.
doing something, being like, well, if this guy's such a threat to democracy, I'm doing my patriotic duty in going up and trying to fucking take him out. And so that's what maybe this fucking psychopath was
exactly
thinking.
what's going to happen.
So that's all I'm saying.
No, you know exactly what's going to happen. There's not going to be any olive branch.
No. But so, again, that's what I'm saying. There's one way you can play this. I'm just saying it's going to happen.
Could you imagine if he did,
But-
though? He'd be like, Jesus.
Be like, there's ways you can play this. He could use an olive branch, be like, look, and see if what the other side would, because maybe everybody like, look, we don't want this happening.
See, like,
let's all
yelling,
take a fucking
protests, all that shit is one thing. When you got snipers on buildings, it's like, let's tone it down.
let's take a breath. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody says that. Maybe somebody, maybe we can
Can
do
you
that.
imagine that?
But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think a lot of the right wingers going to really hammer the point. Again, what I'm saying about all the rhetoric towards them, they're going to say they caused it. The left set this up. They're also, I see the narrative starting that, the Secret Service was deliberately, understaffed or not given the right
But the thing is,
resources so
especially 'cause
that
they
it
took the
allowed
guy
this
out-
to happen.
The fact that they
and,
took him out in 5 seconds, though.
right? But some people are saying he shouldn't have got any shots off. You know what I mean? They should have fucking shot this guy.
Well, you have to have every roof taken care of, right?
Well, you think apparently people saw this guy climbing up.
And people were pointing at him.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. Like, it's really weird.
Oh,
and
we're fucked.
It's
We hear a Casturbation.
So you already see like kind of the conspiracies starting, and people saying again.
So you have people skilled enough that they see a gunshot and say maybe they see the muzzle flash and they take him out in 5 seconds. I was like, but you didn't see him up there,
So
right?
yeah, I mean the thing that's weird about all of this though, it's like
We typically try to be funny here, but
I mean this is traumatizing to the nation.
yeah, it's like we're all gonna die. This
The
might be the
nation-
last episode of Casturbation.
The nation has been traumatized.
We're gonna run out of electricity in about 4 days. So
When the nukes fall, the bombs fall.
yeah, so
The
hopefully-
bombs don't have to fall. All right.
So hopefully you can enjoy this.
All right. The odd thing about the whole situation
We need water.
is, obviously, like people have been kind of calling this for quite a while.
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Some people have that opinion. It's like, thinking about his rhetoric and the way he makes himself such a target for this kind of thing. Yeah, it is pretty surprising it hasn't happened sooner. Now, you know, do I think that means this is like a sure thing for Trump election wise? Like, no, I definitely don't.
Oh, because everyone's gonna come out now. See, you thought the last election, because it set records for how many people voted. This is probably gonna be the most.
Well,
like, I
let's
think
fucking see what happens here.
People are gonna like show up out of the woodwork, like I'm voting, which you should have done beforehand. That's the whole point of the country, and nobody.
I don't know. I mean, has this really changed the calculus that much? Do you think?
I do.
Do you think Trump has got it in the bag now? Do you think like
I think it's like a 75% chance he wins at this point.
Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. That's pretty tough. Like, it's tough. You know what I mean? Because you have for him, you have
but
the marketing.
Still a lot
you have
of
the
time.
whole marketing aspect of it now.
Yeah.
You know how you can use this. Like,
I mean, he's already, like I said,
they're
there's all
shooting
the
at
memes.
me.
Yeah, they're shooting at him. It's like, so I don't know.
You know, think of it just branding wise. Like, he's gonna.
There's a bunch of people that
that
like that, but at the same time,
in fact, I got a
like,
text from Trump.
well, there's the 50.
A little bit. He says, "From Trump, never surrender. I will always love you for supporting me." So, you know, Trump.
Well, see, David here is getting.
I'm apparently on his texting list.
I don't get any texts from Trump.
I've told them to stop texting me. I can't tell you how many times.
Hey, so you can't. Anyone watching, David. He's the Trump guy.
Yeah, I'm on the fucking mailing list apparently. And he loves me. So, you know, that's something.
I mean, it's always nice to be loved.
But maybe we'll see a bit of a softened tone from him. I don't know. I can't imagine.
Like I said, I think this next couple weeks is going to show. It's like, well, maybe.
Let's see what happens.
Because when Corona started and all that other stuff and all the protests and all that crap, it's like, all right, have we gotten to the point? It's like, we don't want people sniping people. Because now it's gotten to that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
So, like, is everyone going to be like, oh, yeah, we were just saying shit. Oh, we didn't think anyone was actually going to do anything.
Well, that's what all the fucking people, everyone, you know, a lot of pundits came out and said, were just like, you know, Jesus Christ, I hope, you know, nothing.
You saw every side.
You know, but everyone that's been calling him, you know, all the names in the fucking book for the past.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just hard to square all of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
See,
like.
that's the thing. It's like, this is unprecedented. Precedented?
Well,
precedented.
Kind of. What do you mean?
Well, no. It just in the last, because you wouldn't think, because it's been 35 years more since something like this has happened.
I mean, for
so
this
this
era, certainly this digital era, like, you know, like has not been something like this with like politics in terms of like presidential assassination attempt.
I mean, can you
certainly
imagine that?
There's obviously like that sort of the baseball field shooting that happened in like 2017, I think.
Well, that's the other thing. It was like school shootings happen all the time. There's people killing each other all the time.
Tragedies abound.
Yeah, it was like, our world sucks and we're all going to die. And now they're shooting at everybody. And so here's the other point. So
it almost kind of felt like a 9/11 moment. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first saw the reporting on it, I didn't. You know, you just see Trump fucking bleeding, and they're like rushing him off. Saying, who knows how many bullets hit him? Like I didn't know how.
Well, apparently only shrapnel hit him.
Exactly. That's all he only got. But you don't know in that moment.
And people died. See, here's the other thing.
People can get hit and then die on the way to the fucking hospital. And people did die there. Yes, exactly. Yes.
And people don't understand that guns don't work like fucking Call of Duty. The bullets don't go fucking straight. And he was like a football field away.
Well, yeah. So, no, they, for the most part, should go straight. But, like, when you come to, you're talking about, like, distance, like sniping. Yes, like now we're talking like the drop and bullet drop and like
he was pretty
physics
close.
and all this fucking shit. So
that's the other part. I was like, if you think the guy was faking it, I'm like, he faked it pretty good.
The thing is, when it first, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know that it's a guy with a rifle.
See,
I thought it might have been somebody in the crowd that just started fucking.
That's what I thought happened at first.
Shooting at him.
I thought it was just a guy with a pistol.
And so it's like, it's
and
like,
that's the other thing. We don't even know what the fuck happened.
No matter your leanings on it, it's like seeing that in that moment, it's fucking like, what the, you know what I mean? It is, I don't want to say traumatizing, but it is so alarming that you're just like,
This is the first time
holy shit, you know?
since 9/11, like I said, as you said. And typically here on Casturbation, we try to be funny. But seriously.
It'll be funny.
Yeah, no, we're going to get to the funny stuff.
It's already funny.
It already is. Actually, this is all funny, technically, if you have a dark sense of humor. Seriously, though, when I found out, I was alarmed. I said, this is bad. Like,
this is bad.
Bad.
Michael's take.
Oh, as you just said. Oh, you already
This
said
is
9.
bad.
You already brought 9/11 up.
No.
you know.
I know. I'm joking.
No, you're not.
But you're just.
No, it's just like,
This.
don't make fun of me.
It's not a good thing.
I'm traumatized. It's only
It's
been
like,
a
sure,
day.
yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, no, that is the reaction. It's just like, oh fuck, this
Because
isn't
it's like,
good.
well, this is the first time I think that I'm like, because I've always, and Dave and I were a fan of history. He has another podcast, historical, that we used to talk about stuff on, and he does with other
Fan of
people.
history.
And like, history is cyclical.
I'm a
It's like,
history fan.
yeah, it's like, this is the first time I'm like,
Cyclical.
I don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing that kind of worries me. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, because as we have been talking about, either everyone goes like, hold on a second, or everyone loads up.
Well, that
I mean-
the guns are pretty one side. I don't know. Like it'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Pretty?
Pretty sure.
Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty
Nah,
sure.
you don't
I'm fairly confident. Nothing's gonna happen.
You don't sound very confident to me.
Fairly confident.
That's like someone saying like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I totally didn't cheat on you."
So
I'm
about
fairly
something that
confident I
hasn't
didn't
happened.
put my dick in that.
I'm talking
woman.
about something that hasn't happened yet. Like so that does no analog to cheating at all.
But it's happened in the past.
It's saying something like I fairly.
I know, I was
What
making a
what
joke.
hasn't
God
happened
damn
in the past?
Godzilla. I don't know. Well, I
Like,
guess he
a
did.
civil war. Is that what you're talking about? No, I don't think a civil war is going to happen.
wasn't
That's,
talking about
that's
civil
not
war.
going to happen.
Well, because if a civil
We're
war
not
happened,
even close. We're not even close to that yet.
Are you sure?
But yeah, I'm
no, the nukes will fall
pretty
before a civil
yeah,
war happens.
yeah.
Oh no, we're all gonna be dead before we all can start shooting each other.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
don't worry about
Fallout
that.
and The Last of Us is more probably apropos.
But yeah, we don't have to worry
Yo,
about
can you
civil war.
imagine if zombies
It's
just
not
showed
gonna
up
get
tomorrow?
that bad. There's again, like the people who really pull the strings, like aren't gonna let anything happen. You know what I mean? They got too much invested in
But they
the
might
United
all be like
States.
passed out because
They haven't
old.
moved their investments to China yet. To
So the
abandon
people that are
us.
pulling these strings, can you imagine them right now? They're like, "Oh, did we pull too many strings?"
We pulled too many Billy strings.
God damn it!
Hold on
Stupid.
one second. I gotta go turn off the fucking AC. I forgot to turn it off. Got to turn off the AC. AC/DC.
And I like how there's also like motorcycles just driving by.
Hopefully that's not coming through the audio the whole time. I might be able to pull some tricks. Might be able to get that out of there.
Well, you cut that last part out.
We might be able to get that out. We don't have to cut anything out. Give everybody an inside look into the lives and times.
Oh,
Casturbation.
Because this is the last time you'll ever see us. Because it's the last time you'll see anything.
We need more content.
Hopefully, the last time you watch anything is just before the nukes fall. And it's David and Michael.
The bombs don't have to fall.
Or do
So anyway,
They
yeah,
will.
they do.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, we
Insane.
milked the assassination attempt for a good 24 minutes. I think we're good.
All right. So what's the best assassination like in a movie?
The best assassination in a movie.
There's a couple, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Well, good topic then, Michael. Great. You had nothing chambered, and you just threw it to me. And just
I
like,
was kidding.
here, fucking figure it out,
Well,
David.
'cause you
Like,
kept-
oh God!
you just
All right,
kept-
shit. Well, I mean, I do
Well,
have
JFK
a few.
by Oliver Stone. That's a good one.
Yeah, well, just pick the most obvious possible one in the world. I'm thinking of like there
The
is
Departed.
one.
Is that an assassination?
There is a movie
Spoiler
called-
alert, by the way. Leonardo DiCaprio getting shot. Spoiler alert.
Is that an assassin? No, I mean assassination's like a political thing,
Okay, so political assassination. Well, there's not many.
or like a figure getting assassinated, like a popular figure. That's
so there's gotta be.
assassination.
So like, oh, see, they're all Historical figures.
So
It's
I
like
can tell you
milk.
one off the top of my head is from a movie called The Parallax View with Warren Beatty. It came out in
That's
about
a deep pull.
in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's a deep pull.
Yeah, and that movie starts off with a political assassination, and it also ends with one too, I do believe.
The Godfather had some political assassinations.
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Yeah,
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. I'm not even trying to do the. We've established here on Casturbation.
Yeah,
I can't.
good job. Thank you for having that.
Oh no, I'd be like,
self-awareness.
you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding and ask me to kill a man.
Mozzarella.
That's what I should say. Spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's
But
the
you're not my
assassination.
friend.
There's the assassination attempt in The Dark Knight, but it doesn't go over well. But then they actually assassinate. No, they do assassinate.
Yes,
a
they
few
do.
people successfully. The commissioner and the judge.
Yeah.
But the
Well, no, the mayor.
the mayor lives through The Dark Knight.
Well, no, the commissioner lives because he's Jim Gordon.
Well, no, the commissioner dies, and that's why Jim Gordon takes
Oh, that's
over.
right, and then he's appointed. God damn it.
But the mayor dies in The Dark Knight Rises. You're right. They all blow up in that movie.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Remember, they're all at the fucking football game, and they're all looking out,
God
and
damn
they're
it.
like, "Oh shit!"
They should never have just. God damn you, Heath Ledger. Why did you die? Because he could have made such a great third movie.
Oh my god.
But seriously, like, The Dark Knight Rises, good God, we've talked about this so much. Like, how it's been
Let's
so
beat that horse.
amazing.
Let's smoke that
Yeah.
for another 10 minutes.
I was like, let's do this. You know,
Oh.
it's like if Donald Trump wasn't elected, The Dark Knight Rises would have been better.
No, the
I know it was 4 years beforehand, but
you know, it's just it's the Nolan, what I call the Nolan spectacle era, because he just after The Dark Knight, he just was leaned into spectacle, like with Inception and The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Tenet. It's all. I mean, Tenet was more. I guess he kind of leaned way too heavily on the other side. I mean, there's spectacle in it, but it's just like so dense. Like it's it's impenetrable on the first viewing. Like you don't know what the fuck is happening at all.
impenetrable. Just like all my ex-girlfriends.
Well, there's certain movies that you just on the first time around, you're just not going to be good. I mean, not going to be good necessarily, but like you're not going to be able to understand it fully, and so that's why you have to go like look
Here's
shit
the thing,
up
when it comes
or
to
go
Tenet-
watch it a million times.
When it comes to Tenet, you can watch it a million times, and it still doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense because it's stupid. It sucks.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a few select
But-
Nolan movies that are just really that hit it, and I think that's with Dark Knight is the demarcation point where it's just like he the precipice where it was just like bam, he did it. Like you made a damn near perfect fucking movie, and people will criticize that. People love to criticize that opinion now. They're just like, oh, I mean, it's just such a normie opinion. It's like, but that's really
That's why everyone has that opinion.
well, there's just for me how I rate movies and how I gauge them is would I change anything about this movie? And no, like for The Dark Knight, it's just like there's nothing I can think about that I would change. The only thing perhaps I would change is maybe Christian Bale's fucking voice, is because
You know what? I agree with you because when I
it's
first saw the
a little
movie,
over the top, but it became
makes
such
sense,
it
though.
became such a meme after the fact that it's hard to hate it because it's so funny and like iconic and just adds like a little bit of levity to
I
the
kind of
whole
wish.
fucking insanity that you're watching.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, it's kind of
It's
When
a
I
little
first
hammy.
watched it, I was like, ugh, this is awful. I was like, this movie is like 4.5. Yeah, where are they? Where is she? Rachel. And but you understand why he's doing it though. That's why it's kind of like, whoa, because they don't want. Even
Well,
though
yeah, you don't want to recognize his voice.
somehow everyone in Gotham City doesn't know Bruce Wayne
And
is this
the
guy. running
explanation that's
around.
been given is, oh, it's something in his suit that does it, that makes his voice like he's not actually actively doing it. It's like something in his suit.
See, I've heard that, and I think that's
Okay.
bullshit.
Whatever. I don't care.
No,
You
he's
know what I
clearly
mean?
just doing this. You think you need a thing to make you sound like this? You just talk like this while you're beating the shit out of Gotham's, like, underworld. That's what
yeah,
you do.
I mean, so anyway, like that's the only thing I might change about it is just like tone it down a little bit. Maybe do a bit of the Batman Begins voice, where it's a bit more of a whisper. But so many of the scenes require
I'm Batman.
a bit more emotion that he's just like, if I get him to you, can you get him to talk? You know, it's just like, if I get him to you, can you get him to talk? You know, it just doesn't have quite the same.
The city showed that it's ready to do good.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same aggression, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that's Nolan just wanted a bit more
But see, no, I'm not.
timbre.
See, this is definitely. Yeah, see, I would have totally, because, yeah, if he just had like a little device to make him sound different, which I think the Ben Affleck one did. Like, just like
he's
across the
I don't know.
throat.
Fuck Ben Affleck. Who cares?
Well, no, I'm just saying, we've already talked about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon too much. But, like, literally. America.
Let's start this with the Team America fucking
Yeah,
song,
God
so
damn
we
it.
can always reference.
So, like, if he had the thing, like, on the voice, it's like, I do like this, you know, because he had it literally in his suit. I mean, that would make more sense, but yeah, that is the only complaint I will give to The Dark Knight. Everything else is, like, perfect. That movie is, like, top 10.
Oh yeah, I mean Heath Ledger is just like, my God, he's so good.
My God.
Yeah, I mean it's just, I mean it doesn't get better than that. Like, and when it comes to the Joker, just trying to portray the Joker, like how do you top that?
And he was
And
just a
that's
gay
really-
cowboy.
And that's what's so tough about, I think, the task for any of the future. And I feel bad for all the. It just
He's the
Heath
Joker. Because
Ledger
they're making
just-
a new Joker movie. It's going to be a musical with fucking Lady Gaga.
I don't even. I mean, I don't know the.
Oh, come on. You know you're interested.
The Joaquin Phoenix, Joker is fine.
See, I felt the same way. I thought it was fine. I saw it because, I mean, he won Best Actor.
Everybody's nutted their pants over it. I thought it was okay. I mean, first viewing it was pretty decent, but on the second viewings,
Like
I
how
was
there's
just
a
like,
Dark
"Nah,
Knight poster.
I just don't have it. I just don't have the energy
See, there was
to watch that
scenes-
movie
there
more
was-
than one time. Like it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Like, God.
It's not a rewatchable movie.
I'm not mad that I watched it, but it was also just like,
Oh, don't be mad, yeah.
I mean, some movies I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, you wasted my goddamn time with this bullshit.
So there's two different facets to that. It's like there's been movies I've been mad at that I've watched because it sucked, and then there's other ones I'm like, that was unpleasant. For instance, the movie you made me watch, Funny Games.
Honestly,
movie-
I feel like the Terrifier shit is way worse than
Oh my
that.
God.
So like,
No,
I
we're
don't-
gonna drop all those. So I was like, those movies just made me mad, but I respect them. But yeah, like say The Dark Knight Rises, it just made me mad because I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks.
well, yeah, it's boring.
I know. I'm just like,
I just don't care about what's happening. I'm just like, he's like Bane. He's got a plan. He's taking over the city. It's like,
and then it turns out there's like this other lady who has the plan.
and then it's my plan all along. And like, yeah, it's all It's like, oh, who gives a shit?
Nobody.
Did you hear that?
Yes, that's why I got quiet. Are we gonna keep this in?
Maybe. Could be a ghost.
Might be a ghost. We just heard something, guys. We heard Casturbation are about to be haunted to death. I mean, I would imagine.
Well,
that
I've
would
been hearing weird stuff in this house sometimes, but it is daylight out, so who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Well, you think ghosts, can they only come out at night?
It's more convenient. You think about it.
It's like the ghosts just sleep during the day.
I mean, you think, they under the cover of night, it would be a lot easier to not be seen by humans.
What does a ghost look like?
I don't know what an apparition.
Is it like, like it's not like the boo?
It could just be like a person that's clear. It's translucent.
Oh, I feel like you can't see a ghost.
You can't see a ghost? You don't think you can see ghosts?
I mean, have you ever seen
well,
one?
poltergeists. I mean, I don't think you can.
Poltergeist?
Poltergeists. Poltergeists. I don't think you can see those.
So that's like
necessarily.
Aliens and Twisters. It'd be great if they made Poltergeists a sequel.
Well, I don't think you can see those though. Like I think those they throw stuff around. They like make noise, but they're not apparitions.
Yeah,
That
what are
are
the
like
what are the
visual?
What are the rules on
apparitions.
ghosts?
Well, there's a few different types, right? Like so, like that's the ghosts. Some of them are poltergeists, and those are the ones that
Throw shit around.
or manipulate things. And then there's
They have strength. They work out at the gym.
then there's the ghosts that you can see, And a lot of the
Like It
times
Follows or
people describe ghost experiences as being almost like psychic. And they say almost like almost like a religious in a way experience,
something. Like The Exorcist or some shit.
where it's like,
Well, what is that?
things aren't quite right. You know what I mean? It's almost like they find themselves in almost like a dreamlike state, perhaps. And so it's like sometimes it's hard to take the accounts at like, oh well, like I was in like my clearest of minds, and like I can account for everything here, because sometimes these experiences are just so maybe jarring or whatever, like they're
Jarhead.
but that's the way people describe them, and they sound very subjective. You know what I mean? They don't sound very measurable in the sense of like, oh yeah, like somebody else would have seen this thing. Like sometimes it sounds like they're very personal, or like ghosts can be like only seen by like a certain person, or some people are more sensitive to it than others, something like that. That's just but that's I've only scratched the surface on
ghosts.
On ghosts. I don't know that much about it.
Scratching the surface on ghosts might have to be the the episode title.
I don't think we need to be reaching for that.
Well, I mean, seriously, I'm like, yeah, it's like, as we were just saying, so it's like, oh yeah, I'm stupid, and I thought I saw a ghost. I was like, you were probably just tired.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean, we can be dismissive of people's
Unless there was a ghost that just came
of
here.
people's truths. Like,
What is the truth, David?
Well, let them speak their truth. It's their truth. It's not your truth. That's why I don't get that. It's that saying. It's really weird, because it's like there is the truth. That's just a term, you know what I mean? It means like there's the truth. There's like what is true, you know what I mean? When somebody's like, that's my truth, it's like, well, that's your perspective.
It's like, I think 50 Shades of Grey is a great movie. That's my truth. No,
So,
it
like-
sucks.
like, so yeah, like
The truth is that movie is terrible.
So I think a lot of the times people do it maybe either one, just having fun with terminology and using it in just creative ways. At best, right? At worst, it's somebody that's trying to just almost like confuse terminology so that they can get away with some bullshit.
I think it's mainly just stupidity.
Gaslighting, and it's just like, well, that's my truth. When somebody says, well, that's not true, it's like, well, that's my truth, and it's like, well, then you're just gaslighting me. Because we all know that's not the truth, and if you're just refusing to accept reality, then you're an abusive person. Psychologist David,
Yes,
attorney at law.
I want to give. Yeah. Oh, you're usually not the one to give your last name, so it's mine. Sounds made up, but
Who cares?
yeah, that's
Shut
the
up.
episode name. Who cares? It's like, so the ex-president, I guess they don't call them that. It's been shot. Everyone's dying. The nukes are coming out. The zombies are coming out. Who
Where are the
cares?
zombies.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. Any day.
Oh, I thought there was actually some report.
I like how you actually looked like, oh, by the way, it's like just popped up on our phones, like, and there's zombies.
Oh, the zombies.
It's like, oh, shit.
Apocalypse just began. Huh?
By the way, it's like, click.
Well,
Go right
yeah, that's
there.
what I was just asking. Just in case, there was something I was missing, some nice pop culture tidbit.
I mean, there's zombies. That is pop culture. Inherent.
Yeah, but not really anymore. That's more of a millennial culture thing.
No, it goes back and forth. I mean, you have like Night of the Living Dead. Let's stop talking about, you know what, this movie.
No, dude, millennials fucking love zombies. Are you
Well,
kidding
yeah,
me?
because obviously The Walking Dead and all the whatever. Because
Yeah.
but Night of the Living Dead came out earlier. But,
Zombie Task Force.
but what I'm saying, just the life we live in. That's a horror movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, have you seen that? There's a movie called In a Violent Nature.
I've heard about it.
I kind of want to watch it. I haven't seen it.
It's not a history of violence.
No, it's a
Man,
totally
I like
different
how
movie.
Viggo
The
Mortensen,
movie.
he was just, oh, I know. I like how he
He kills Ed Harris.
Yes, he does. Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was like, let's just say the ending. I wasn't going to talk about that
That's
part.
not the ending. That happens like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, that's when the violence happens.
Yeah, he kills Ed Harris like halfway through the movie, and then there's further. The ending is more
See, I'm more.
violence.
My point was, it's like I am
So don't stop there.
Aragorn. I'm Aragorn. You know, everyone's like, oh, that was like a family-friendly movie, and it cracks me up that even my nephew is just like, oh yeah, this movie's for kids, and there's just people getting their arms chopped off and heads cut off.
Well, they're orcs. They're not people.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. I was like, it's just black blood. It's not blood, so it's okay.
It's orc blood.
Yeah, it's orc blood.
They're evil. They're like Nazis. Who cares?
The
Just
orcs.
kill them.
The orcs are Nazis.
Nazi orcs.
So then Viggo Mortensen's like, all right, I need to change my career a little bit. So I'm going to be in History of Violence. And that was violent. And then he's in Eastern Promises with a naked fight scene.
Yeah, the naked knife fight in the shower. Yep.
Oh, man.
Everybody knows Michael. I'm just kidding.
I don't think everybody
I
does
know,
now.
I'm just kidding.
We don't know about anything.
Everybody knows about the naked knife fight in Eastern Promises. Well, anybody who's worth their salt, I think a movie fan should know about the naked knife fight in Eastern Promises. David's opinion.
Yep, David's opinion.
I'm of the opinion.
As a man's opinion, that is one of my worst nightmares. Getting attacked by a bunch of dudes with knives while I'm in a steam room.
I actively think about it. There's an active fear. Like every time I'm taking a shower, I'm just like.
Some
ready
people are
for it.
scared of spiders. Some people are scared of.
I've taken Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes just to make sure I can disarm a potential attacker if I'm in the shower.
by a bunch of Russian mobsters.
Man, dude, you gotta be a naked knife fight. You gotta be on your A game for that shit, man.
It's like you're gonna be dead immediately.
You gotta be on an A game, or you're gonna be on the.
Gotta be on your D game, technically.
Your D's gonna be on the floor if you don't fucking.
It's like if you don't fight,
Yeah,
if you don't know jujitsu.
You don't bring your A game. Your D's gonna be on the floor.
Episode name. And I mean, doing flips
Don't
and
be
everything.
doing that.
And as long
Just
as you
don't
have like
find
all the
yourself in
tattoos.
those situations. You know what I mean? That's just the.
I suppose that's the point of the episode. Don't people
Don't make decisions.
at all, and
That-
we will
that-
find ourselves in better situations. Like, don't snipe the president. Don't get a naked Russian mob fight in the steam room.
True.
I think that's what we can gather from this.
You know, I think there's some lessons to be learned from yesterday.
Like naked mob fights in Russia.
There's some lessons to be learned.
Can you imagine how much Vladimir Putin is probably laughing his ass off?
I mean, sure. I mean, that guy probably laughs all the time.
Yeah, he seems like a very jovial guy. And just laughing all the time.
I mean, if I had just a whole country like under my control, I would be laughing my ass off.
And I was just bombing
I'd be
another
pretty
country.
happy, you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy. I bomb countries all the time in Civilization 6 and
Man, you know what I ate earlier? I ate some meat, some Italian meats, salami, prosciutto.
I like how you're specific. Thank you for
Oh my
clarifying.
lord, it was so good. Dude, it was imported from Italy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there was a sticker on it.
Does that mean it's true?
Yes. They're not allowed to say that unless
You
it's
can't just write a thing that says this is from Italy?
imported from Italy is what it said on the sticker, and it was slapped on it. So you know what?
Do they have
I'm
this just printed
trusting-
out?
You know, yeah, I'm sure they do.
Why would you trust anything after the last day?
It said imported from Italy, sliced and prepared in the USA. So the meats themselves were imported from Italy.
So how do they import the meats? Like,
I'm
if they
sure
put it
by
in a
boat
giant
or
cooler
plane.
on a boat? Well, yeah, there's only 2 ways to get here.
They
It's
flew
boat or
it.
plane. Somebody didn't swim over the fucking ocean
It must have
carrying all the
flew.
meat on a backpack.
It must have flew.
It was-
No, it probably came on a shipping container
Maybe.
overseas from the.
It probably came from around the corner. It was probably, like, not from Italy at all.
No, I want to believe that it's
No, you can't-
authentic Italian.
I believe.
Yeah, you can't tell me on this day of mourning.
Yeah, I was like, of all the days, you're going to tell me. McDonald's is not actually a cow.
Yeah, I did eat some McDonald's in
Of course you did.
in- I did eat some McDonald's and consolation. And what do you call that? Is that consolation?
It's not consolation.
In solidarity. That's what I mean. In solidarity with our president.
Consolation, like in the sky.
Some
Constellation.
in solidarity with
It's
our
like
president.
if you get your telescope and you look hard
Our
enough, you
future
can see
president.
the McDonald's constellation.
President 47. Agent 47.
Oh, great.
Trump.
Well, I mean, so hold on. So, like, if he gets elected again, does he like get like an extra number, or is he like still
Yeah,
just
he would
the
be
same
the 47th president.
after 45?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. 'Cause
You're
I
pretty
think
sure?
I'm
You
pretty
sound
su-
confident,
well,
Mr. McDonald's.
Grover Cleveland, I think, is listed as like, what is it? Like the,
All of them.
what is like the 28th
1 through-
and the 30th president or whatever.
In my heart, Grover Cleveland is my president now.
Grover Cleveland. The 22nd and 24th U.S. president.
Well, that's stupid.
It's not stupid. Why is that stupid? You're not going to go back a number if we got the 46th guy, and then the next one is elected, even if you were elected before. It's not like, oh, well, he's the 45th guy again. It's like, well, no, he's now the 47th person.
Oh, it's just the
who's held that-
45th just comes back, and you just keep the whole lineup.
It's so confusing, though.
Well, because
Because
people are
then who's
stupid.
47? Then the next guy's 47. That doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, because he was the 45th, so then he's just still
Well,
the
it's been
45th.
established here now that Cleveland has apparently established that it was the 22nd.
Cleveland, this is for you.
So, yeah. So Trump will be 47.
I'm voting for LeBron when he runs.
Agent 47.
Yeah, he's gonna kill us all.
He's gonna say.
The fiber wire.
So somebody tried to take out Agent 47.
I was like,
Try to turn the tables. You can't turn the tables on
on a hitman.
On a
Take your
hitman.
shot. Not on Agent 47.
not on Agent 47. No,
I wonder what his real name was. It was probably like John. Something stupid.
I think it was John.
It'd probably be John. Oh, did you even see the Hitman movie? There was actually 2 of them. I did not watch the second one. I'm like, no.
I only saw the Timothy Oliphant one.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. And he's like fighting with swords. I'm like, that's not a hitman. He's like in a sword. He's like double wielding swords. I'm
You don't like that, Michael? You don't like sword? Is it sword man?
Not if you're a hitman who's supposed to be the most stealthy guy ever, who's bald and has like a, what do they call it? Like the thing on the back of your neck, that you scan.
I was thinking about a movie pitch.
Well, because there's a second one that apparently was better, but apparently they're also fighting with swords. I'm like, if I see a guy like killing a bunch of people on the side of the street with swords, I'm like, yep, that's a hitman. Not just a guy killing somebody.
So I was thinking about a movie where it's like a guy, he starts taking like a ton of Adderall, like way too much Adderall, and then starts like seeing the future. And then it's called the Methman Prophecies.
You fucking, that is the dumbest thing. It would at least be cocaine, or just do the spice.
That's not meth. I mean, at least Adderall is closer to meth than cocaine.
All right, you're the expert.
It's amphetamine salts is what Adderall is.
Well, so like say this sounds like Dune.
It doesn't sound like doing it at all.
He can see everything because he took the spice.
He
Do you know what
sees-
the spice is made out of, sir?
He took so much Adderall that you can see what's going to happen to Trump on July 13th.
Oh my god! And he watches the bridge fall.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Methman Prophecies.
How long did you wait to drop the Methman Prophecies?
I don't know. This kind of just came to me.
No,
honestly.
it didn't. No, that was clearly been boiling in your head.
No.
Just like the meth and the Adderall. He's like,
I
was like, David.
I used the stones to destroy the stones.
I was like, David's been here on Adderall all day. He's like, the meth man.
I'm talking about myself. I saw
Yeah.
it, Michael. I knew it was
He's
going
like,
to
I was in West Virginia. I was seeing a bunch of shit. I don't even know how he got
That should
here.
be the name of the episode.
Oh, yeah. We already have 20 names for the episode. The Meth Man Prophecies is a pretty good one, though. God damn it. We're clearly.
I do love the Mothman Prophecies, though. So
Yeah,
it's
you
like-
do.
It's
See,
an amazing
I like
movie.
that movie a lot. David loves this movie. And I remember I was like, it's okay. And I watched it with him like 10 years ago. And I was like, this is pretty good. But man, David, like, jaw drop, eyes wide, like, oh,
Yeah, I'm
man,
sorry. I
so
have
good.
immaculate taste in films. You know?
So you're telling,
I'm
telling me,
not going to apologize.
so you're
for-
telling me the immaculate taste in films is the Mothman
Mark
Prophecies?
Pellington's The Mothman Prophecies starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney. Yes.
Anything with
With
Gene.
the soundtrack by Tom and Andy. Yeah.
You clearly just looked this up. You did
No,
not.
I didn't clearly look it up. I have all those memorized in my fucking brain because I love the movie.
There's video. No.
There's video of what?
Oh, it's show me your computer.
It's nothing on the computer right now.
Mm.
It's just been recorded.
I don't believe you. You actually
So-
do like that movie too much if that all came off the top of your head.
Yeah, no.
However,
I
I
really
can
love it.
remember all these stupid things from too many movies.
It's not stupid though. It's a really tight script, and the acting's really well done. The music's really well. The cinematography is really creative and interesting.
This is
It's got really good pacing and suspense. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's just there's not a lot. Again, how I rate movies. Would I change anything about this movie? No, probably not. There's like pretty much everything about this movie.
was the
is
Mothman
perfect.
a ghost? How about that? Well, we came back to Earth.
The Mothman was not a ghost. It's not even really kind of fully explained what the
What
Mothman
is the Mothman? Yeah, like what
the
is the Mothman? The Meth Man.
The Meth Man.
Well, I know who the Meth Man is. He's sitting right next to
But
me.
in the Mothman Prophecies, like the way it's described and the way what I like about it, it's almost like kind of an
God, you like these
interdimensional
movies so
being in a way. Is somebody that
So is that a
on
ghost,
different
though?
different plane of existence. Well, no, I don't think necessarily a ghost sort of implies like somebody who died and it's their spirit or apparition.
Oh, I
that
guess that's
comes
true. That's
back. And
fair.
the
Yeah, I guess a
the
ghost is someone who
Mothman is not-
existed.
Yeah, the Mothman. I
The
don't know.
Mothman's just the Mothman.
I mean, it could be. I don't know what it is, but like the way it's explained is they're just on a different plane of existence. They're a being, an entity on a different plane of existence. So when they can impart knowledge to human beings about events that are going to happen because they can see those things from their perspective.
So I guess death from Final Destination would not be a ghost. It's
No,
just death.
that's more of a force. You know what I mean? It's
So is the
almost like
Mothman a force? Or so we have interdimensional beings, ghosts.
Well, the Mothman doesn't cause
force.
accidents, you know what I mean? And that's one of the parts of the movie. It's just like, so you're saying Richard Gere's asking one of the, he's like, you're saying he causes accidents. He's like, well, no, he does. Why would he have to? You know what I mean? There's
What's
plenty.
the Mothman? It's like the Mothman.
People
like
are going to shoot at presidential candidates. Bridges are going to collapse. There's tragedies are going to happen.
Is
You
the
don't need-
Mothman who sniped Trump yesterday?
It could have been. The meth man sniped Trump.
Oh, it was. Oh shit! I gotta get out of here. No. So yeah, what does the Meth Man? What is his purpose then?
Well, the Mothman. Well, no. Who
the
knows?
meth man.
Now you're asking questions like that's you now.
Oh, I got questions.
The movie covers all of this, so you just go rewatch it if you're interested. Anyway, it's really is phenomenal though. I love the movie.
Oh my
and
God,
I
clearly.
recommend it.
Why don't you have a poster? You have a poster of all the other shit. But
I
you don't
really
have the
should.
Mothman?
I've looked it up. I've looked up Mothman posters. It's probably something I have to commission custom. I probably have to go to like Kinko's or like one of those places and like
Does
haven't-
Kinko still exist?
I don't know, like FedEx office Kinko's I think is a thing. Like they combined into one store. I'm pretty sure, but
Like U-Crops combined with Kroger.
maybe.
And we're sponsored by Kinko's and Kroger.
And so like you probably could like blow up, a large size
And blow up the toilet and then get a
blow up the toilet at FedEx Kinko's and
and then get a poster of the
Kick the door
Mothman
down and-
Prophecy.
well, you make your poster. Well, they make your poster of the Mothman Prophecies.
It's like, wow, I'm waiting. How long will this
Well,
take?
I'm waiting. I'm gonna take a fat shit. I'm sorry. We don't normally get into like the scatological
Well, we had to.
humor here.
We spent the
at
first.
Casturbation. We like to have class, I think. Generally.
So we've talked about school shootings, presidential shootings, meth man shitting in a Kinko's because we're classy.
blowing up the toilet at the FedEx Kinko's.
I mean, and then he dropped the
Hey.
actual bomb with the timer on it.
Well, Vinny's.
So when you walk out with your Mothman Prophecy poster, the whole Kinko's explodes, so nobody knows.
walk in slow as you walk in slow motion.
Duh, you got to walk really slow, but then you probably start
And then
scurrying. It's like, oh shit.
The Mothman would have predicted it too. Oh.
He's like right there next to your shoulder. He's like
He told you-
shaking
he
his
told you to
head.
do it. The Mothman made me do it. That's a t-shirt right there.
I guess that would be the Meth Man. He's just shaking his head like so happy.
Well,
like,
no, the Meth Man is our thing. The Mothman is a well-known entity we can
I like to think
riff
there's a
on.
Meth Man and a Mothman, so it's like the angel and the devil.
Those are just like two. I feel like those are just two devils. Like, Anyway,
Well, that's no. Everyone here at Casturbation, we're going to hell. If you couldn't tell.
so yeah.
Who would be the Mothman? Who would be the Methman? Well, you're clearly the Methman, so I guess I got to be. But see, I know you want to be the Mothman, but my last name is Man, so I got to be. I'm closer to the Mothman.
I think on one of the past episodes, we promised we would, if we ever got big, we would make a movie called Bigfoot versus Mothman or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, because there's so many versus movies, and you got to think like no one's
So
ever
it's all those
tried-
cryptids fighting each other.
Yeah, cryptid versus movie.
Yeah,
you know?
no, exactly. So it's anything you could think of. It's like the Tall Man or whatever the fuck his name
Well, I
was.
feel like we should limit it, at least the first one. We want to keep the scope a bit. We don't want to bite off too much more than we can chew. We want to like the Slender Man and all this modern.
That's what I was saying.
bullshit.
Slender Man.
Let's
is what I
get
was thinking of.
let's cover the basics,
So
the classic monsters.
Bigfoot versus Mothman.
Yeah, Sasquatch versus Mothman.
Like, yep. Let's keep it tiny with Sasquatch.
Maybe Chupacabra makes an appearance, but like
Yeah, like at the
goat
end, like
sucker-
the end credit scene.
Oh yeah, it's like he leaves like a Joker card.
Yeah.
Except it's like a dead goat. It's this goat that's been sucked dry. Yeah, it's like exactly at the end.
Yeah,
They
that's what you have to do. It's like stay for the end. It's Mothman
It's like that
versus
Mothman
Sasquatch.
Begins.
There's like a bunch of moths like surrounding him as he jumps down. I've already been scared of moths.
I feel like that's kind of the way it's got to go. It's got to be a Mothman centric.
He's the Mothman. Where the fuck would you come up with that name? It's a
Mothman.
moth. That's like one of the least intimidating things ever. It's like Spider-Man.
Mothman
see that.
Begins. That's
Batman.
That's
Baskin.
pretty good, man. I don't know. Like that's like a gotta be.
They
a
play
movie.
having Caterpillar Man. You don't want to be that guy.
You might have to establish. Yeah, you might have to establish Mothman in his own movie, and then we introduce
Mothman versus Sasquatch.
Sasquatch is like in the he's like the Joker,
Well,
basically.
Sasquatch shows up in the ending scene in the first one. Mothman Begins. Mothman.
Or Sasquatch is just the big bad in the first one, and then he faces off against Chupacabra is
Well,
like
yeah,
the
that's
Joker.
like that'd be like
El Chupacabra
like
is
the
Joker.
Abomination in the Hulk movie. You just have the big bad. Sasquatch.
He's Sasquatch.
He's just,
he's a big heavy that you can kind of
he's just
intimidating, kind of take him out. Though,
and
in the
everyone
first one.
knows him like it's a name.
A good foil. Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Mothman Begins. So it wouldn't be Mothman versus Sasquatch. Yeah, that's too Batman versus Superman. We're too close to that.
Oh, yeah,
and
like
that's-
too much.
Fuck that.
Honestly, you never want a versus.
We stay closer to Nolan. The Nolan formula is probably better. We
So I'm
stick
saying,
to that.
yeah, you want to cool it in. Like, I think having verses in your movie is a bad situation.
It's not a good
Freddy
yeah.
versus Jason, Alien versus Predator,
Yeah, it's usually doesn't
Batman
go-
versus Superman. So no, yeah, we don't want to have Mothman versus Sasquatch.
Yeah, maybe we don't. Yeah,
So
no.
like, what if it's like just like, yeah, Mothman. Yeah, what if it's just Mothman?
Mothman Begins. Well, I like Mothman Begins.
I do,
think
but, like,
that's
what
good.
if
But
that,
then
like,
the second one?
That's also too on the nose. What are you gonna call it? Like the Mothman Night?
The Moth Knight, the Dark Moth. No, I think that at that point you.
I think
can do
no,
something-
you just gotta call it Mothman.
Yeah, Mothman. Yeah, it's just the second one's just called Mothman.
So Mothman Begins, then Mothman.
No, we're not gonna do Mothman Rises. We can't follow that because that one.
No,
sucks.
that'd be like Mothman Ends, like the Halloween movies.
Mothman Last Stand,
The end of the Mothman.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Return of the Mothman. See, that should be the first one because it would confuse everybody. They're like, was there a first one?
Oh, Mothman Returns. Yeah, you're right. Like Batman Returns. Yeah.
See, that would be good. But no, you gotta have Mothman. So yeah, it'd be funny if the first one's Mothman Returns, and then it's just Mothman. Because he's established himself.
Well, no, it's Mothman Begins, Mothman, and then Mothman Returns.
Yeah, see, I think it's the way
And
we
then
go.
the third one is like, yeah, he's coming back. Yeah,
Well,
out of
but
retirement.
you could also have the Mothman Strikes Back, because I mean, that's always the best one.
The Mothman Strikes Back. Is
yeah,
pretty good.
against Sasquatch. That's the last name of it.
Too Fast, Too Mothman.
Two
All right,
moth,
no,
two
we're not
man. God,
Moth,
we're
man.
stupid here at Casturbation.
That's the oldest fucking Reddit joke ever. I hate that.
That's
so
not
much.
even. I don't even know if Reddit was around when that movie came out.
Well, no, I mean you just see people do that all the time. Though,
Well, because it is kind of funny. Because we both just did laugh at it.
Well, I mean, Too Fast, Too Furious really is just an insane.
It's the
It's an
stupidest.
insane way to name your sequel. You know what I mean? It's just absolute batshit, and the movie itself is also insane. Like
That movie sucks.
Yeah, no, it does. And then they dial it way back with Tokyo Drift, and they're just like, let's just make like a grounded, like coming of age, fucking like high school movie.
That series makes no sense. The fact, first of all, well, because there's, I guess, one more coming out that's going to be the ending. The end
They
of
say
the Fast
that
saga.
every time.
Because this will be the 11th, I think. So they had the Fast and the Furious.
Fast 10-year seatbelts.
See, that's what they should have done. It was right there.
But they don't need to do it. It's just
Okay.
Canonically, everyone's gonna call it that anyway, so they just don't even need to brand it that way.
I never saw it.
They're not gonna waste their time on the extra
So
letters.
you have the Fast and the
They
Furious.
just F10 or whatever, FX, whatever.
Oh yeah, no. So
Two
no, it goes
letters.
the Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious. They just took the "thes" out for the fourth one.
Fast and Furious.
Then Fast 5.
Fast 5.
And
Furious
then-
6.
No. That was 7.
You're
So it
right.
was-
You're right.
Yeah. So it was
Fast 5.
No. So it was Fast 5, and then it was like Fast and the Furious 6.
No, it's Fast 6. It might be Fast 6.
Because I know 7 is Furious 7.
Maybe.
I think it's just Fast
maybe
6.
You should. Yeah, I think it's just Fast.
So it's
6.
Fast 6, Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, which is the 8th one, and then you had F9.
It's actually Fast and Furious 6.
See, I was right. And then, of
But that
course,
doesn't make any
FX.
sense either because
Nothing makes sense.
there's only one Fast and Furious before that one.
None of it makes sense. I saw a scene from the newest movie, because I have not watched it, where Dom Toretto, a.k.a.,
It's Fast 9 called F9.
it's just F9.
Yeah,
And then it's
F9.
FX, and they're going to have part 2.
FX Part 2. Well, then there's also Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Jesus Christ. How are there so many movies? There are franchises I have wanted to see have sequels, but didn't make enough money. And yet, the Fast and the Furious movies
What are you doing?
have more movies than fucking Star Wars at this point.
I'm Jason Statham.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And I just like how it's like The Rock
What are you doing here?
and Vin Diesel hate each other. So that's why they're like, all right, we're just making a different movie.
I hate The Rock.
And I like how it's like,
That's my
yeah,
only
I'm
character
always,
trait.
I'm the transporter.
That's all he does is like whisper like intimidating shit.
Remember, he's in one scene in Collateral.
Yeah. He's
And
just
everyone-
like, it's Jason Statham. You're like, oh, and then he's gone.
Well, no, this is before he even did the transporter, I think. And
I knew him
everyone-
from Snatch at that point.
yeah, because he started doing action movies afterwards.
It's Turkish.
Turkish. No, like the fact that he just shows up and he
Turkish.
gives Tom Cruise like his bag full of shit to kill people with. And then and everyone thinks that he's actually playing his character from the transporter, which would be fun.
But the transporter is
Collaboratively.
so insane compared to that shit. That
Well,
it's like,
maybe
I
he
don't
was
think it
He was
is.
transporting a suitcase
I don't
full of
think
guns.
So. I don't know.
Well, of course it's not.
Seems
well,
a little
maybe it is.
convenient. I'm just
It
kidding.
might be
I think it's
true.
stupid. That's a dumb theory. Fuck
Well,
that shit.
all-
Fuck that shit.
Everything we just
I don't
talked about
believe
was
it.
stupid.
It's dumb.
Hobbs and Shaw is stupid. Did you see the part when they're like,
No, I think
literally?
I just think it's a dumb theory because what it could be the guy from Crank. What if it's the guy from Crank?
Well, haven't you seen some of those theories sometimes when you see an actor like in a movie and they're like, what if?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Oh, you do it. You just sit there, Mothman.
I'm the meth man.
on Adderall.
Yeah, I sit
just
there
like
on-
making up things like I saw
Not on
this guy in a
Adderall, on
movie.
methamphetamine.
Yeah, just a straight up.
Smoke so much
meth.
meth that I just see the future.
He smokes it.
I see the future. I see the future, man. Yeah, like I'm all like jacked up. Like that.
Cue Dune thing. I can see the way. I'm pointing the way. I'm Meth Man. I am Paul Meth Man Atreides. Duke of wherever I'm sitting at the moment.
Duke
Of
of
7-Eleven.
the crystal.
It's like, sir, you're sitting on the side of a street. but I'm still Duke. On the side of the street. Methman.
Methman. The Methman Prophecies. A film by Mark Pellington.
Maybe that's what Eminem's new movie was about. They should call it The Methman.
You know what else Mark Pellington made? Arlington Road.
Oh, that ending. Oh my God. I like how, and no one's seen that movie. Only you would
Don't
laugh.
watch it. Or, I mean, don't look up anything about it. Just watch it.
Because it's only the ending that makes that movie good, in my personal opinion.
Well, no, I think the whole thing is pretty decent. My opinion
All right,
about it,
Mr. Methman.
my opinion about it is it needs a little bit more meat on the bone. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just
I think they thought of the ending first and then wrote backwards.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And there's certain things with the script that just don't quite make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because they wrote the ending first. And they're like, how can we get to this point?
But
Whoopsie daisies, I'm the meth man.
the you know, I don't think it's bad. I think
I don't either, because holy shit.
I think what makes up for it is sort of the rest of the movie, because it's like, even though the ending doesn't quite make a ton of sense, that it's like
I do
still
like
the
kind
rest of the movie and how it flows and sort of the paranoia and suspense.
Yeah, the paranoia
that
is what I was
drives
about to
it
say, yeah.
is really good. Albert Brooks and Tim Robbins are both really good in it. I mean, it's Tim Robbins, dude. Like, the guy crushes like everything he does.
Tim Robbins is an interesting actor, you know, because like he's kind of weird, but he's really good in like all sorts of different kinds of roles.
He's an actor.
Yeah,
you know, he's
versatile.
really. I think he really.
Because there's
is
some people say, unfortunately, another Tim Robbins movie. I love Morgan Freeman. He's Morgan Freeman in every fucking movie.
Yeah, I'm Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
Jason Statham is Jason Statham in every fucking movie.
I'm the profound
You know, well,
sounding.
Andy Dufresne crawled through 300 yards of God knows whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, but you know, Tim Robbins, he's in the movie with Martin Lawrence, Nothing to Lose. You know,
Oh my God.
comedy film. You know what I mean? He and it's not a bad flick. You know, it's pretty good. You know, for an early '90s fucking buddy kind of comedy sort of deal.
Wasn't Tim Robbins? Wasn't he married to Susan Sarandon? Wasn't that like the one big Hollywood couple for a while?
Sounds right.
Yeah, no, because she's like 20 years older.
I'm not too well versed on his personal life, honestly.
Oh,
so.
I'm well versed on everybody. See, I'm a Swiftie. Let's talk about Travis Kelce. No, I'm kidding. And unless you want to, no. So no, Susan Sarandon. Yeah, no, I know. Oof.
So, but what I'm saying is, like, you know, so he does, you know, comedy flick. He does serious Oscar award-winning flick. He does serious, more, you know, suspense.
Oscar award-winning flick.
Suspense-driven flick. You know, he's versatile. Like, he doesn't necessarily stick to one thing. He was also in High Fidelity, right? Like, he plays that one character in that, and like almost.
And that one scene, my favorite scene from that movie, when they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and it's
a
just,
dream sequence.
Well, you don't want to spoil that in case you haven't seen it. But
Oh, well, at least we didn't.
it's
spoil.
a funny moment.
We've already spoiled
he
like
fantasizes
10
about
movies.
he fantasizes about basically murdering Tim Robbins. John Cusack does, but it's pretty good.
And Jack Black.
Yeah, and his buddies. So anyway,
It's not a spoiler alert. It's like 5 seconds. Because there's like 3
It's a good bit though,
different
because
parts.
for a moment you think it's fucking real. You're like, oh shit! Like, you're just, but then it obviously cuts away. And you're like, oh duh, yeah, he's obviously not doing.
Pretty
that.
good bit though.
But it's a pretty good bit. Yeah, it does take you a bit by surprise.
We already spoiled enough movies. See, at
It's
least we
okay.
didn't spoil Arlington Road though, because that movie you
you're
can't
right.
spoil.
Don't spoil it. Don't talk.
So
about
at the
it,
very
Mark.
end, no. I'm kidding.
So Mark Wellington, he did. You know, he's got a hand for suspense, is what I'm saying, and I feel like
his dick is suspense.
and what I'm saying is, like, so Arlington Road doesn't quite have enough meat on the bone, enough substance there at the core of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's good, but I feel like it's just lacking in substance.
Well,
Like,
that's what we were saying.
When I watch it, I
Yeah.
feel like 75% satisfied. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I wish there was just a little
Just
bit
like
more.
my ex-girlfriend.
And so, and for me though, with Mothman Prophecies, I feel like the basis of it has enough substance
You
there.
love Methman.
Well, no, like, listen, like, it has enough substance at the basis of it that Pellington comes in with his hand for suspense that you see in Arlington Road and stuff, and he applies that.
Yeah, I never
with
realized
a good
he directed
script
both. Yeah.
for Mothman Prophecies, dude. I think it's just one of those things where it really comes together because his cinematography in that is
It's pretty awesome.
it's incredible, and like
When that bridge, when all the shit happens at the end,
There's like
It
only
looks
one
great.
real big CGI shot in
And
that
it's
movie,
that one.
and it doesn't look too bad. And it was 2002, so it's like you can be like, all right.
But it's like slow motion and like.
But still, like everything else in the cinematography about that
looked
movie
great.
is fucking really well thought out, and that's what I love about
the
it.
emotional part is like what makes
There's
it.
so much care and thought put into every shot. They're like,
Yeah.
how do they went into every scene like, we want everything here to matter. We want there to be little clues to be scattered throughout all of
Yeah.
this. And so that's what they did. And that's why, to me, movies like that are special because people give a fuck. You know what I mean? They really give a shit about what they're doing. And so it's clear to me when I watch that movie that the people involved really care. And, you know, Richard Gere, Laura Linney, Will Patton, you know,
Will Patton underrated. He's had a lot of like side roles like that are really good.
remember the Titans? He's fucking great in that. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
And you know, it's like, and to me, it's
When
like,
him and Denzel hug at the end.
look, Denzel needs someone good to play off of. You know what I mean? That movie doesn't work unless you have that good counterpart.
Yo, the song at the end of that fucking movie.
You know, it doesn't work.
That's
And-
the song they played when Alexander Ovechkin lifted the trophy. You know that, right?
Yeah. It's very emotional.
Trust me. It's like, yeah, Dave and I are about to cry because
it's-
we love
we
Ovi.
can't go too deep into sports movies because men naturally we just
Yeah, we
get
just start
emotional.
crying. You know, it's like you got like Remember the Titans. You got
Yeah, you start
Friday
talking
Night
about the
Lights.
Titans are just like they all came together in the end to win. You know, it's like all right.
It's like you're gonna block him, and they take the one guy out. You know, it's just like you're gonna run this route. You know, I can't even remember what he says. It's just like we're gonna do this,
right.
and then Denzel watched it. You know, that's right, because Will Patton is just like, not one more inch.
well, he's the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The thing is like he was promised the head coaching position.
Yeah.
But because of the integration,
They give
Boone
it to Denzel.
gets the head coaching
Yeah.
job, but then he makes the deal with them. He's just like, look, you know, it's like you handle your defense. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I'll handle the offense. You know, I'm not here to just like, you know, take
my
everyone's
God.
job. But then, you know, obviously
This is the name of the episode now. Remember the Titans. We're just gonna watch it right now.
just go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. But anyway, Will Patton, phenomenal actor. Michael's saying he's just kind of underrated. And that's the thing. It's like if you're gonna be in the same room as Denzel and go up against him, you have to have some energy and charisma too. And that's what I'm saying. It's like
I
he's
imagine
good.
that's intimidating.
He's good, and so like, and he is intimidating in Mothman. Remember, like,
yeah. No,
like-
I mean, I imagine Denzel, but yeah, Will Patton. Well, he's good because he can kind of do that, like, because he's always kind of got that look. I'm
He's
Will Patton, you know.
kind of crazy country guy.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know where I'm
So
from.
so anyway, like
Will
point,
Patton
point
was in the
is-
Halloween movies. Speaking of the new ones,
Yeah.
he was
so,
the sheriff.
Okay, so my point is, like,
Yeah.
it's one of those movies where everything's kind of coming together. The scores by Tom and Andy is also very suited to what's going on in the movie.
This is your favorite movie of all
Atmospheric.
time.
So like the thing is like the elements that make a movie come together, right? The script, the actors, the cinematography, and the score.
Yeah.
Everything here is just in such alignment. You know that it's special.
I agree.
To
It's
me, it's special.
underrated.
It feels like everybody kind of came in and not only did their job, but really gave all of their effort to it. Like Gere, you know, it's like Richard Gere is Richard Gere. You know, he just like comes in and just crushes whatever he does. But like Laura Linney's scene, the emotional core of that movie,
Oh,
she's
man,
she's the one that has that on her back. And don't get me wrong, Gere has plenty of it. He has his own emotional stuff in the movie too. But I think she does steal the show a bit.
Yeah, Richard Gere kind of always has that like steely-eyed look. You know?
Yeah, he's very stoic. But Laura Linney's monologue, you know, is very good. You know,
Yeah.
she does a good job of that. And again, I don't think the movie works unless you have these actors that can sell it. You know what I mean? Sell this concept because it is like a supernatural fucking thriller.
And that's
you know
why
what I mean?
Richard Gere is actually good for it because he's definitely like, oh, this is not fucking true.
But
then it's
everything's-
like, oh man, everything's kind of adding up.
Everything's just in alignment for this to fucking work, man. And I
Yeah.
fucking love this movie. Anyway, sorry for
It's a
just
great movie.
ranting about the fucking Mothman.
I think
Prophecy.
the Methman Prophecies might have to be.
The Methman Prophecies, though.
So how far are we to it?
We're like an hour 15, dude. We crushed it.
I guess we're.
We crushed it. So it wasn't obviously. Michael was like, it wasn't funny, but we tried.
No, it got funny.
It got funny. We found it. We found funny.
We found the Meth Man.
We pulled out a shotgun and made Funny get out of the dark. We said, "Come out with your hands up, Funny."
And then he stabbed us.
They tried to stab us.
Started playing the Michael Myers music. Ding 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 ding.
Tried to
ding.
stab us in a naked knife fight in the bathroom, but we managed to subdue Funny.
for a little bit.
And we strapped him up here and made him do our bidding.
We hung him from the ceiling, and we're just like
Taking this metaphor way too far. All right, guys. Well,
got one
thanks for
chance.
listening to Casturbation. If you go to our Patreon and subscribe there, give us $1. If we get 25 Patreon subscribers
We'll eat a
at
pounder.
$1 tier, we will just do podcast. We will do like a Patreon content. We'll do Patreon episodes.
And we'll
for
also
just for those people. If we have that level of interest,
This is
you know,
true.
it's a way to gauge it. We're not saying we don't know. You know, that's why you have to tell us with the market, the brutal market.
And we'll eat a
conditions.
pounder for you.
And the pounder obviously is always on the table.
Like that's on the table.
It's always on. Literally right now, my pounder is
There's
waiting
pounder.
for me.
We have like so many
Downstairs.
pounders.
I need to get it. The DoorDash lady left that outside. All right.
No, she's like coming back right now. She's like, oh my god, more, and I'm.
We ordered a few pounders. All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank
I
you.
think that's it.
Don't be too
God bless
offended.
America.
America.